Well, I don't know about you, Nick, but every station I turned to, from radio to television, was talking about this guy.
Stevie, huh?
Yes. And so they're saying he was a rock star. He was like a movie star. And obviously so. But many people have been stunned by the outpouring of emotion that has been on display with the passing of Steve Jobs, which I think happened on Wednesday. But as a result of all of this, he, of course, has had, his various Apple stores around the world has been inundated with gifts and flowers and
Really?
pictures and, from the company's headquarters in Cupertino, California, all the way to the East Coast in New York City. Even Hong Kong stores have been inundated with expressions of gratitude and love, I guess, on his contributions to the world of technology. Well, here's another thing that's taking place as a result of all of this. It appears that autobiography, or actually a biography of Steve Jobs, was set to be released on November 21st. Well, because of all of this hoopla around his death and outpouring of love and so forth, admiration, the publishers of Simon & Schuster have announced that they're moving up the publication date to October 24th. So the book that was written by Walter Isaacson, which is titled Steve Jobs, rocketed from 437 to number 1 on Amazon's bestseller list in hours after Steve Jobs' death was announced. And that's thanks to pre-orders.
Sure.
So to satisfy the consumers and those who are interested, they've moved that date up. Now, they say the book is based on more than 40 interviews with Jobs conducted over 2 years, as well as interviews with more than 100 family members, friends, adversaries, competitors, and colleagues. I guess you have to get everybody's take, right?
Yeah, you got to cover the gamut and get everyone's point of view. And from what I heard about this, and from what I understand about Steve Jobs, he was more of a private guy. And, how much do you really know about him? But they're coming out with this biography, and the only reason he agreed to do it is because he wanted his children to have an idea of who he was. Since he's dying at a very early age, I believe 56.
That's right.
Is his age. So, there's a record on who he was for his children to go back and
That's
read.
right. That's right. And, he of course, lived a short life, but accomplished. I mean, talk about footprints.
Yep.
He has left the biggest footprint that
I'm sorry. The impact that this one guy has made on everybody, and I don't think it's hyperbole. I think it's impossible to overstate the impact him and his partners and the company of Apple and sub companies like Microsoft have gone on.
That's right.
To make the impact that him and everyone else there has made on culture, on just the way we live our lives in the modern world cannot be overstated.
It's just unreal. And so, again, fans won't have to wait long for that book to be published. Now, they're saying Apple investors will be pleased because the market value has soared.
I'm sure, yeah. If you
Yeah.
weren't rich enough already, if you had Apple stock, you're going to be even richer now.
I'm telling you the truth. All right. And then, of course, there are big talks about Apple University.
Really?
Yeah, they I guess it's always been in the works or happening, but they will be offering a degree in Steve Jobs. It's a class or a training program that teaches Apple employees to think like he did, which is obviously outside of the box. And so it's been around for a few years, but they're really beginning to, at the wake of his death, and to keep the company flourishing, because we know what happened last time he left the company. Things started to nosedive. So hopefully stepping up that program and getting the employees and others involved in the training will keep the company going. Thank goodness he had a collaborator with him on the creative side. And his name is Jonathan Ive. And he will fill that creative gap that Steve Jobs has left. He goes by the name of Johnny, and he was the foremost creative partner within Apple, aside from Steve Jobs. He's was involved with the development of, listen to this, the iMac, the iBook, the Power Mac G4 Cube. That one went over my head, but it came out in 2000. The iPod,
of course,
the Power Mac G5, the iPod Nano, the iPhone, the iPod Shuffle, the iPhone 4, and iPad 2.
Anything that you could own from that starts with a lowercase I.
Yeah, so
he had a hand in.
He's called a prodigy and has been with Apple since 1992. And so he's going to be the front man, he's going to be the guy in terms of the creatives. So we'll see how well he does without having Steve by his side. Now, here's some quotes from him. Now, I don't know about you, but I heard all kind of quotes from Steve Jobs in the past few days. Phenomenal. But here's some quotes from Ive. He says, "Victories from your ability to sell are very short-lived. But victories from things you've really worked hard at can have a lasting impact." So anyone can pick up something that someone else already created and sell it. There's no investment.
Right.
But when you've worked at it and, invested in it with your blood, sweat, and tears, then the impact can be lasting, as we see here with the Apple products and brands, and just amazing. So there were all kind of tributes taking place on the internet.
Of course, warehouse.
And I thought this was so cool.
Oh, the Apple logo, how it has like a bite out of it, but they put the silhouette of his face. Yeah.
Now, the young man who is responsible for this is a 19-year-old student in Hong Kong at one of their university schools of design. His name is Jonathan Mack. This
Wait. His name is what?
Jonathan Mack, spelled with a K.
Mack is his name.
Isn't that something?
Just saying.
Now, he created this logo back in August when Jobs announced his resignation as CEO of the company. But people didn't pay attention to it. So obviously when Jobs was, when the news came out that he had passed on, he put it back out there on the internet and was just inundated with all kinds of emails and text messages and replies, and other people taking it and putting it on their pages and things of that nature. So he said that it has been a very, very exciting week for him as a result of this logo. For those who don't know what I'm talking about, it's the Apple logo. You know how it has a bite in it. Well, the bite on this young man's Apple logo is a superimposed silhouette of Steve Jobs' profile. And so I thought that was just
how do you
incredibly creative.
How do you feel about a young man making money on another person's death?
Listen to this. All kind of baseball caps, T-shirts, and other things with this new logo has been popping up on eBay.
Sure. Yeah, I would hope that he's getting.
Now, is he getting a part of that? You know,
he better be.
That's the question that has to be answered out there, especially on his behalf. But he created it. Now, he didn't create the Apple logo, but that new bite imprint is his.
Yeah. How do you feel about that with a man making money because somebody else died?
I think this was a heartfelt, honest, creative gesture here.